Record this to the cloud. Perfect. Well, that's great that they got to see us interacting beforehand, so you guys can know that we're real people that are interested in your children. We're real and we're live and we're ready to go. So we do have already quite a few questions, and we have a lot of people whose hands are raised. And just so that you guys know, if you're listening, raising your hand, that chat feature, or, you know, as far as us seeing you, we can't see you. So when you have your hand raised, we can't really see that on our screen, but you can definitely ask a question. So those questions, you just go ahead and you, down at the bottom, there's a little question and answer tab. Please just go into that and just ask your question. And then, you know, not everyone's going to see your question. Don't worry. We have it set up to where, you know, I know some people are shy about asking questions. We have it set up so that not everyone can see the question. Everyone will be able to see the answer, but not the question. Okay. So with that said, let's start. We're a few minutes in and we want to get you out of here. I know everyone has a busy life. So we just want to talk to you guys a little bit about everything. You can see there are 7 PE teachers here. We have, I'm going to introduce myself first and then we'll go around. This is Paul Foxon, or Coach Foxon. The kids call me Mr. Foxon. And I'm one of the PE teachers. We wear many hats, definitely at Paul Revere. You know, we you know, kind of all are involved in the after school program. We deal with a lot of things on campus, and we've actually been going to campus to do some of our teaching, which is great for the students. So with that said, I'm Coach Foxon, and I'll be kind of your MC this evening. And I want to pass it to the left right now on my screen is our department head and phenomenal human being, Mr. LaFollette.
Thank you, Mr. Foxon, for that awesome introduction. I'm Mr. LaFollette, guys, rolling into my 18th year here at Revere, and I'm going to pass it to my my right, which I don't even know who that is, but we'll start with Miss Walker.
Hi, I'm Ms. Walker, and I have 2 6th grade classes and 4 8th grade classes, and I've been at Revere since '09. I'll pass it to Mr. Kirby there.
Hello, I'm Mr. Kirby. I've been at Revere this is my 13th year. I have 2 6th and 4 7th grade. Mr. Amos.
Hey guys, I'm Justin Amos. This is also my 13th year at Paul Revere. I happen to be the basketball director at Paul Revere, so if you ever have any questions regarding basketball, we can take care of those. When school is in session, obviously we didn't experience that because this is a 6th grade group of parents. I do a lot of supervision on campus, so you would see me very frequently outside during drop off and pick up, that sort of thing. So as soon as we get back, I'm sure we'll get really familiar with one another.
Awesome. Ms. Perez. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Ms. Perez. This is my 8th year teaching at Paul Revere. I have one 6th grade class right now, and 3 7th grade classes and 1 8th grade class, 8th grade B class.
Awesome. And we have also with us Ms. Chen, and she is here via answer and question. She is definitely on board. A little bit of issues going on with internet and some screen stuff. So for her, she will definitely be available. So if you ask a question, any one of the other 6 PE teachers will be responding to those answers. So if you have a question, like I said, please don't use the raise your hand button. Instead, please use your question and answer portal down on the bottom. Okay, so with that said, introductions out of the way, let's start. And the first thing I want to tell you is, you know, we are aware, you know, we're all parents ourselves, you know, or kind of, you know, you can see, you know, in the kids' faces on some of the Zoom meetings, you know, sometimes confusion. You can see that they are anxious to get going, and we are with them on that for sure. You know, we feel as though we are here for them. You know, they're not here for us, we're here for them, and we want to support them in any way we can. And you too, which is why we decided to have this meeting early rather than wait until back to school night, which, by the way, we have an amazing video. So if you log into back to school night, you will see our amazing video. But we're doing this in lieu of that. So we want you to know that we're here for your kids. So if you have questions, if you have things, it's a new experience for you. It's a new experience for your kids. This is a 6th grade meeting. Tomorrow night, we're going to have a 7th and 8th grade meeting. We're going to go over some things tonight, you know, and I hope they don't sound remedial, but a lot of times when we do things, you know, if you miss, and you know this 100%, if you miss one little step, like logging into Schoology or your Zoom meeting, and you miss it, it's unbelievably complicated is the way it seems. And I get that, I do. And tonight we're gonna go over a few things. We're gonna go over how to log into your parent portal. We're going to go into Schoology, how physical education is set up and why it's set up like that. We're also gonna go over a curriculum. What is our curriculum? What are your kids gonna be doing on a day-to-day basis? And, you know, the rationale for why it's set up that way. You know, we are a team, and we are, I mean, without a doubt, we work probably, I would say, the best out of any team that I've been on. You know, this physical education team is the top. So you have that, and welcome to Paul Revere. So let's get started. The issues that we have seen so far have been parents have had a difficult time either logging into Schoology or getting into their Zoom meetings. So when we, and I'm just gonna start there. I'm gonna share my screen with you, and I want you to see where it is that I'm going. Let's start it off like this, because you can't really see all the stuff that I'm talking about if you're unable to maybe log in or see it for yourself. And if you can do that, then I think you can maybe help your kids. And then we'll show you, obviously, from a student perspective, what it is that they're seeing. And then I'm going to jump right into, you know, what our curriculum is and what it's going to be. So let's start. I'm going to share my screen right now with you, okay? And let's go in first to this document that, that I want to show you. This right here is, or was, a form that should have been mailed to your house, okay? And it's very important. It's called iPads Do's and Don'ts. You obviously can all read, but this bottom section right here is very important. It's important for two reasons, because these two things sometimes get misinterpreted and they get confused. Schoology is a platform for, really for your kids, okay? It's a communication platform for the teachers to you, but it's not really an interactive parent platform, okay? That is the parent portal, what you guys are looking for. Now, all right, let me back up and just say, you know, as an employee of the school district, my job is to support and help the process that they're trying to provide. And the Schoology, let's just say that Schoology and the parent portal is constantly evolving, okay? It is constantly evolving, especially in a time when they thought they had time to improve it to an awesome experience slowly, because most teaching was done in person. But now that the teaching is done virtually, they got flooded with a need for it to be amazing. And they're working on it, they are. So Schoology for your kids, grades for each assignment, it's quizzes and test scores, it's updates from the school, communication to teachers and counselors and staff. If you email through Schoology, through your Schoology, we will definitely get it. And then we can respond through our Schoology, okay? Do not, for you guys, for the parents, do not go to Schoology.com, okay? Now, yours is the parent portal, okay? Now, I'm not going to explain exactly what all this is right here, because we're just gonna do it, we're gonna do one better, and we're actually gonna look at it, okay? So let's do this, okay? So now I'm gonna share my screen some more. Hold on, I got all kinds of stuff. Hold on, all kinds of stuff. Where'd it go? Okay, perfect. Okay, so if you were to go in and you were to type in, and you guys can still see my screen. Hold on, I'm gonna stop sharing. Then I'm gonna share it again because I think it paused. It may have paused. So yeah, let me find this, perfect. And I'm gonna share this, perfect. Okay, so when we are in here, I just typed in a simple search. It said LAUSD Passport Portal. Okay, that's all I typed in. And when that came up, now I click it and I'm gonna see this LAUSD Parent Portal. That's where I wanna be as a parent, okay? I want here. I have a student login. The students can log in here, the employees can log in here, and the parents can log in here. If you want, I would copy and paste this address up here and put it on your desktop or put it in your phone or save it wherever you can. So as I go in here, I'm going to obviously click parent login. This is a parent meeting. Now at first glance, here you go. Now perfect, we have a little English Spanish translation. This is great, okay? But at first glance, you're thinking, oh my God, this is overwhelming. This is what? And I'm looking through district calendar. You have to scroll all the way down and then you're gonna see what you really need to see. You're gonna see your students, you're gonna see your children, your kids, the people that you love and want to see do well. That's the whole reason you're logging in. So you go in here, and now I have my daughter, and I should have said that, Mr. LaFollette was much better introducing himself than I was, because I didn't tell you anything about myself. And I think that's important to know that I have 3 kids of my own. My older son is in high school. He's at Palisades High School. He's a junior there. He plays baseball. And my daughter is in 8th grade here. My son's in 4th grade. So I have kids I know what you're dealing with. Kids at 3 different schools. You're trying to navigate all these different portals. And the high school portal is different than your elementary school. Everything's crazy. So anyway, enough said. I know what you're going through. I feel your pain. So we go into Dempsey's portal. Now, once we're in there, we can easily see all this stuff. We can click on Schoology right here, but this clicking on this, I don't think is as good as clicking on grades and assignments. Here's why. Grades and assignments, the first thing, usually the reason I'm logging in here is because I want to communicate either with a teacher or I want to see what's going on. So Mr. Slavin, okay, is an English teacher. My daughter's English teacher. He's a teacher here at Paul Revere. Mr. Fulling, right? So a lot of these, her classes are getting switched. That's why it says me for all of these, but we're in the process. Mr. Shibata's working on that. But so anyway, so Mr. Fulling right here, let's go into Mr. Slavin's class. So we click English, okay? Now it's gonna show me these. Definitely they're a little out of order, but that's okay, right? So I want to go in here and hit this top button. I could click the individual class right here, but it's a better layout if you hit courses. And I don't want this to sound so crazy. It's kind of redundant in a way. So now I'm in there. I could have emailed the teacher if I wanted, and now I'm here. I have history, I have geometry, I have English. I click English, and immediately I'm taken to an area where I would see what Dempsey Foxen is seeing, what my daughter's seeing. This is her area, updates. These are all Mr. Slavin's, what he said to the kids. You can review this, what's going on. All of this stuff, okay? Now, here's the confusing part, and this is where many of you—
saying right now they can't see your screen.
Oh, they can't?
Yeah, I have a couple of people that said that.
Okay, I'm gonna reshare it.
And somebody else just said, I'm confused. Is this a PE meeting or a Schoology Parent Portal Tech meeting?
Okay. I'll hurry up with this then. Okay.
He's just trying to help people out. Like so many sixth grade parents are
Right.
not sure what the parent portal is and what Schoology is and what it all means.
Exactly. She said it, couldn't say it better myself. This area right here is great. And you can see what you want, but this section right here is an area where it's going to get difficult, because when you log in for the first time, it's going to default to you. This is my wife's name. This account's under my wife's name. It's going to default to you. And look, there's nothing here. You're not enrolled in any courses. Of course you're not, because you're not a student here. So it is definitely a little confusing. One thing you can see, though, is...
No, they still can't see it, they're saying.
They can't.
And a lot of people are saying, can we skip forward to the PE requirements right now?
Perfect. Okay.
Even though this is useful, and some people are saying that, I hear those other people too, so.
Okay, fair enough. So if you have any questions with this, we can move ahead. I was going to try to show you guys where your emails would be, parent emails, and how you find them, but it sounds like you guys already know that. Way ahead of the game. I love it. So let me stop screen sharing right here, and let's go right into curriculum. I don't want this to last an hour. So here we go. I'm going to share my screen again, and I'm going to go into the PE. Hopefully they can all see this. Right here. Okay. So hopefully they can all see my screen here. Okay. So this is a layout of our physical education daily life. When I say daily life, I mean exactly what they're doing on a certain day. And the difference of the way it was before is, obviously, because we have so many kids at Paul Revere, we couldn't physically occupy the same space on the volleyball courts. There's no way we could have every class over on the volleyball courts. But now we can. We're not limited. We're definitely thinking a little bit outside the box. So all together, we can do certain things. We can teach everything's grade alike, everything's subject alike, and we can move forward with a curriculum that we know everybody's getting the same thing. It's a way that we can control. So on Mondays, let me go through this real quick. Mondays is a learning lab, okay? And you all may be familiar with what learning lab is, and that term has been thrown around fairly loosely, and it could mean a large variety of things. But what this learning lab and our learning lab means is it's really the first time that the kids are going to be doing some academic learning as part of physical education. In middle school, your child does not have a health class. It is thrown in as a part of a science class, or it's thrown in, you know, when teachers discuss certain things in certain classes. There's a minimal health component, but there's no health class. You don't get that until high school. So what we're going to do is we think that it was super important to come up with some curriculum to discuss that thing. So that's what that learning lab is. There's 4 weekly units, okay? Or there's one unit separated into 4 weeks, okay? And our first week unit, starting on 8/31, we're going to discuss on this Monday right here with the periods 1, 3, and 5, we will be discussing how to get organized, how to set a goal. That's going to be the subject matter of that, okay? And obviously it's appropriate because it's the start of the school year. We figure the more organized, obviously, that a child could be, the better they're going to be, not only in their personal life, but through everything. A lot of the classes don't really go over how to use their planner. You received a planner. Many of the kids, and maybe you didn't even know they got a planner, but it's a really, really useful tool if it's used correctly. And we're going to go over how to use that, okay? This is also for periods 1, 3, and 5. This is their running day, okay? When we say running day, we mean we want them either to run, we want them to walk, we want them to, and let me tell you the reasoning. The rationale here is to get them out of the house. It's to get them out of the house. And if they know structure, if the kids know and they have a structured thing that they have to do, Now, this could be walking the dog this in the morning. Then they could come back later in the afternoon. Let's say mom gets home from work at 5 and we go for a family walk together. Perfect. That's exactly the second. And we have equaled 30 minutes, 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes at the end. And this is what we're after right here. Okay, so we have a synchronous learning. I never thought I'd use the word synchronous actually ever in my life. And now I've used it like probably 12 times today. So learning lab and then running day for periods 1, 3, and 5. And they submit this on an assignment. We actually have this Under Armour app that we've been using. You may know what it is. It's Map My Run. And the kids have a GPS literally on there. They can see their whole neighborhood. They can draw out where they're going. They can see at the end how far they went, you know, how long it took them, how many calories they burned in the settings. You can see if, you know, the possible calories. And then you just take a screenshot of that final thing, you know, with your picture, and you're going to upload it into the assignments. Okay. Which is really straightforward. So this is Monday. And where do they go in the assignment? I'll go through all of that. So Tuesday and Thursday classes, periods 2, 4, and 6, what are they doing on Monday? They don't have class. They don't have PE on Monday because these guys have it on Monday. Okay. So.
Sorry, I just want to interrupt you for a second. I'm going to share my screen so
Perfect.
they can also see how the student sees it while you're talking.
Excellent. So right. So
if your student goes to materials, this is how it's laid out for the students to see what their job is for the week. So they can go to syllabus and they can see a weekly agenda, also our syllabus. But if you're confused or your student is, it's laid out, you know, very clearly what their job is for the day and what their homework is. And then when you go into materials, it gets a little more detailed on what's required for the run log. So the student can click on that. They can click on run log directions, how to submit it. And then each week there'll be an assessment where they need to answer a question and submit their run log. So sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to be clear about that.
Oh, no. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. So can you leave that screen up actually?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Can you scroll down a little bit to or up, I'm sorry. Yeah, there you go. Just so I can see it. Perfect. Okay, so now we know periods 2, 4, and 6 are gonna submit their FlexFit media clip. So 2, 4, and 6 are doing a flex day workout. And the reason it's called flex day is because they have the opportunity to do what they want. We've had a lot of questions. You know, my son only has, you know, a limited time during the day. He gets done with his school. He's done at 2 o'clock. And then, you know, he has his soccer practice. And then we get home, he eats, he has all of his homework. You know, when is he going to have time to go out and do this stuff? Well, that's why it's called flex day. A flex day, if let's say he has soccer practice, use the soccer practice. This is a personal journey. I'm going to say that again. Fitness and sports and any activity like that is a personal journey. You set goals based on yourself. Our job is to make sure that our students are the best versions of themselves. That's what we're trying to get at. If, you know, we set something and we said, hey, you need to do this, 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 and this, that may not be something that somebody really enjoys or wants to do. You know, and we feel like in this time, in this day and age, if the child can choose something that they want to do, they're going to be more likely to do it. Okay. If, let's say your child doesn't have any practice, you know, PE or physical education or sports really isn't their thing. We have a lot of things. Obviously the running day, our goal is to get them out of the house, and we can do anything. As long as we're outside, we can walk, we can jog, we can run. We have a couple of kids that are, you know, cross-country runners, and they get out and they're trying to time themselves in a mile, but that doesn't have to be the same for everybody. I mean, you can bring a pet on there when you're running. Those are awesome things, but the flex and those two rotate. So I'm going to share my screen back again. with you and go back to this model just so that you can see how it flip-flops. Mondays, obviously the learning lab and the running day, that's for 1 through 5. And then the next day we move to Tuesday. They have that same exact thing that we just talked about on Monday. And then the flex assignment alternates. But the beauty of this system is that if you have multiple children, let's say you have an 8th grader and then you have a 6th grader, and your 8th grader has period 1 physical education and your 6th grader has period 5 physical education, they're doing the same thing. They're doing exactly the same assignment. If you go for a family walk, you can use it as the same thing. I mean, obviously if let's say your son or daughter's at water polo practice, and after the water polo practice or before the water polo practice, obviously they can't video themselves in the water. They're swimming with their GoPro. Like, I don't think so. So obviously they don't drive yet. So when you pick them up, take a picture of them. Now, this is great for you anyway, because when ESPN gets a hold of them and there's a 30 for 30 about how famous they are because they're an amazing athlete, you'll have documentation of all these pictures you can send to ESPN on them. Okay, but take the picture and then you're going to upload it. Take a short video for the flex day. All of those explanations. Ms. Walker, do you want to share your screen and show them the explanation of those assignments so the kids know where it is?
Yes, sorry, I was just responding to a parent here. The run log you want to see?
Yeah, just any of the instructions of,
Okay.
of the run log or the flex assignment, either one of those. There you go.
Okay. Good, okay. Yeah, so if you go to materials, or your student does, they can scroll down. Zoom is where they will find whatever current Zoom link they need to go to, the next day or the day after. Parent folder, please stop. A lot of like troubleshooting for Zoom and school. I'm gonna go back to materials. And syllabus I showed you, participation and attendance. So sometimes that will be what they need to fill out, like when we do our in-person fitness Zooms.
Right.
The run fitness log, when students click on it, there's the run log directions.
Perfect.
This is also a how-to video, just like a little bit of how Map My Run works. And then when it's time for your student to submit their run day picture, here is a quick little question and answer, and they can upload their file, which is explained on those directions. And then I can go back to materials. Everything's always going to be here, and all of our pages look the same. This is for 6th, 7th, and 8th graders if you guys have older students. And here's our Flex Fit video log. You can see we already have this set up for next week submissions. And we also have some directions, but examples of 30-second videos of these really just fit PE teachers.
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
I was going to show you guys from a parent perspective, really how things looked from the parent side of things and how you guys can access this. Obviously, I understand that it was taking a little too long and people got antsy because they have things to do, which I understand. But I want you guys to know that you cannot submit these assignments from your parent portal. If you're going in and you're trying to do your schoolwork for your kids, that's not what we're after. And let me explain the rationale here. I mean, I'm not mad at you. I'm not talking to you in a way like, a derogatory way. But I feel like in an effort to speed things along and in an effort to, get your children ahead, they need to get done. They need to do more. They have math homework. Let me just do it for them. By doing it for them, you're not allowing them to experience the process. And that is what middle school is all about, the process. It is learning how to go through certain things so that they are prepared for the future. That's all this is. So we're doing things that are really redundant. When we're normally on campus, it's remembering your PE clothes. It's remembering 2 different locker combinations. Could we just give them a key? Well, yeah, but it defeats the purpose of being able to remember certain things and to be self-reliant and self-responsible. So please, and it's why on the parent portal, all of these submission buttons are disabled. So as a parent, you're going in there and you're like, there's nowhere to submit this video. There's no place to submit this. Well, you're absolutely right. There is no way to submit this because your child is supposed to do it on their portal, not on your portal. They're 2 totally different things. Okay, you don't have access to a lot of the things that they have access to, and that's important to know because you'd never know that unless you were viewing it from the student. You know, if you had them both side by side, you'd see, oh wow, they are a little bit different, huh? So, okay, that's important to say. Now, let's move on with our stuff. I'm going to share my screen, and we'll get through this really quickly. I hope. So as we get through, we've got Wednesdays, okay? Let's move on to Wednesday. We know what FlexFit is. We know what the Learning Lab is. This Wednesday right here. And I'm going to get to something actually that we definitely have to talk about, kind of a serious thing, but I'll talk about it after this fitness day. We are going to be teaching live from the Paul Revere gym. If you have an older student that was with us, you probably heard about Fitness Day. Fitness Day is a series of exercises. The kids all go into the gym and they work out. It is a full body workout. It's a core workout, and to music, they go for 1 minute. They do their exercise for 1 minute. The music stops. They normally would be required to rotate to the next station. Okay, if you've ever seen Fitness Day, it is glorious. It's like a well-oiled machine. Okay, so what do we do now with COVID? Well, we're going to do the same thing. Imagine, picture this, Mr. LaFollette down there. He's glorious. He's super handsome also, obviously. He is going to, let's say for instance, but it could be any one of us, with his phone, mobile, headphones on, going to the first station. The music starts. The kids start their workout, but they're in their living room. We're at the Revere gym. They're in their living room, your living room. And so their homework for this week was to find a spot where they could work out, where they could do something for about 25 minutes and be able to do it by themselves. Like if they're down in the living room and your younger son who doesn't have anything to do, every time he jumps down to do his plank pose, his little brother jumps on his head, that's probably not going to work. Or maybe your dog or whatever. So find a good spot. Maybe it's outside. But we do ask the kids to be attentive via their webcam, and we're good to go. And we're, one person's leading, 2 people are leading as far as the teachers go, and then the other teachers are in there correcting, talking about form, and we're going to go over that this week a little bit with the kids. And next week, our first fitness day, we're going to go through all of that so your kids will understand. We're moving at a very slower pace. And this attendance quiz right here is really designed to give us some feedback. It's a follow-up, a little bit of an assessment, if you will, on what just happened. It could be a one question, what was I in attendance? Did I feel engaged? Yes. Maybe the answer, no, I didn't. I thought it was boring. And that's good feedback for us. We are also going to go over muscles of the lower body. I had said earlier that we have 4 weekly units comprised into one 4-week main unit. And the first week we're going over organization. The second week we're going over growth mindset. And it's important, not that we're going to have, kids read hardcore documentation on growth mindset, some academic, really content heavy stuff. That's not going to be the case, but we're going to touch base, and they should know basically what that word means. What does it mean to them, as a person? And if we know what it means to us, we're more likely, maybe we can apply it to our own lives. So that's kind of what these quizzes, you see that at the end of the week. That's what our Learning Lab is on. We talk about it during our attendance quiz. It's our theme for the week. Then we're quizzed on it at the end, which brings me to my next point, which might be the best. And I don't think it's taking place so much with the 6th graders. It definitely is with the 7th and 8th graders. And here's what I have to say.
Hey, can I interrupt you for 1 second?
Sure.
because I'm just seeing the same question on here, and I know you already talked about the runs, but you know, our goal is to get the students out and run. That's not going to work for everybody, especially sixth graders. Not every sixth grader has a smartphone. And you know, the hope is, I think like all of us right now, we're trying to adapt and figure out, like, everything's not gonna work perfectly for everybody. Just like it's not working perfectly with me and her and Zooming at night, or her Zooming in the afternoon. So we're just figuring it out as we go. As a parent, I'd say, hey, like if you could go with them and use your smartphone, awesome. Now you guys are both getting exercise together. But if that's not gonna work, or you live in a neighborhood that your kids can't go out, then message your teacher and we'll find a different way to make sure your kids are active. Like that's our number one goal, is to figure out how to get your kids active and motivate them through the computer. So like I said, we will adapt. They do not on those run days, or even on those flex fitness days where they have to turn in their 30-second video. They don't need to do it during their class time. They just need to do it by the end of the school day. Turn that in. Right, because I see my coworkers, you guys are kind of reading the same questions, right? Did I address
Sure.
most of the questions?
Yeah, a lot of people have a question about the Run app, not wanting to download the app or not having access to a smartphone. So in the spring, when we went into this lockdown / pandemic, most of the kids in my 6th and 7th grade classes were able to adapt quickly, and but not all of them were, because they live in an area where there's a ton of traffic, or it's not safe to run in their neighborhood, or they didn't have access to a smartphone. So I provided an alternative activity for them to do at home. Basically, it was like a YouTube video that they would follow along that lasted 20 minutes approximately at home, in lieu of running outside. So that's not going to work for everyone. So the reason why we're asking you to use the app, because it does give us the information, the date the kids left, the time. They're going to take a post-workout photo, so we know it's them. So somebody had a question like, hey, can we just use a watch? If unfortunately, sometimes students aren't always honest with their submissions. So, I mean, I can start my watch right now and take a picture of it when it gets to 7 minutes and 30 seconds, and I can send that to my PE teacher and say, hey, here, I'm done. So that's the reason that we're asking for the app, because it provides us a little more information. It just ensures, for the most part, that the student took care of the assignment.
That's 100%. Yeah, we can find accommodations to every situation. I mean, because like I said before, we're here for your students. We're here for you. We want to help you, but there has to be some structure. You cannot. I've been teaching for 20 years, and for these kids to have a lot of unstructured time with not a lot of structured activities is very bad. And you're going to see the ramifications of that, not maybe today, not maybe next week, but you're going to see it down the line. And that's what we're trying to avoid. With that said,
Sorry, one more interruption, just because the same kind of questions. People are asking, like, that people are worried about space too in their house. If you guys, and a lot of these questions you're asking, if you look at the directions for a run and for fitness, they're answered there, like how to download it, and what if, it won't let you download if you're not over 16, and also space, because this has been brought up too. You'll see in the videos, three of the PE teachers here did exercises. You don't need a lot of space to get fit. Just enough to move your arms like this, and your kids can do it, And I encourage, I know a lot of parents are working from home too, join in with the kids, because I know we've all felt like we're going a little crazy looking at computers and being inside all day. It's good for everybody to, oh, look at that. There's Mr. LaFolette's daughter exercising inside. So, somebody was asking, so like, we're all parents too, and we're all trying to figure it out. And I know it's all overwhelming, but, just do the best you can.
If the kids have an iPad, they have access to YouTube. There's a ton of people that lead workouts on YouTube they can follow along to, and we're going to provide them all that information that doesn't require any equipment. It gives them a solid 20-minute workout, 25-minute workout, and basically, if you have a spot for the length of a yoga mat, they're going to be able to strengthen their body and stay fit every single day if that's the only space that they had.
It's something that obviously is a touchy subject, and every parent feels as though, you know, their child is 100% honest with them. But there are times when, you know, your child may say to you, oh no, I got it done, or they didn't give me any instructions, when, you know, the best thing to do is, instead of saying, oh, the PE teachers didn't provide any instruction, that's why I wanted to show you on your parent portal and the Schoology where it was. So you can actually see, from your view, you can see it. You just can't submit it. I just wanted to show you where it was. And if you have any questions, you can definitely email us and we can show you where it is. Now, what I wanted to talk about was the Zoom meetings. We have these learning labs on Monday, and a lot of times what the kids are doing, because we have, I don't think they know that we have a log of exactly when they logged in and when they logged out. And unfortunately, well, let me start fortunately. I like to say the positive things first. We have a lot of kids that are really engaged and they stay the whole time. And then at the end, we leave it open and they ask questions because they want to do well and they want to learn. We have other kids, maybe because they want to play Fortnite, but we have a list of kids. I have a list of kids who are logging in for 1 minute, logging in for 2 minutes, and then leaving. And the way it's set up is, if they log in today, perfect example, I had a girl in my class whose name I caught. She logged in for a minute and then she logged back out. Well, something must have happened. She must have gotten kicked out or something, because then right next to it, Schoology's reports, she comes in, she logged back in again and was admitted, and then stayed on the meeting for 32 minutes. So something like that happens where you get kicked out, as long as you can log back in. We don't lock the meetings. So obviously we understand that there are technical difficulties, but there weren't that many technical difficulties. So they're getting their name on the list, but they don't realize that we can see that they were only there for 4 minutes. They may be telling you that they're on there for the whole time. So it's just something to watch. I'm not saying kids are doing that. I'm not blaming anyone. It's the very beginning of the year and we have to go over this. You know, kids are very good with their electronic devices, and they're very good at duping the parents a lot of the times. So you have to be on your game and you have to know what's going on. We are expecting that every child, every student is on these meetings, because their quiz on Fridays is really dependent on it. Now, if you go into the Schoology, if you're going into here, to their Schoology, right here, courses, I'm still sharing my screen, hopefully. Well, that's their courses. So let me go into mine. Right here, hold on a sec. Perfect, okay. So we can use, let me disable that. Perfect, okay. You know what, I'm gonna stop sharing actually, because I just wanna talk to you guys about one other thing real quick. When the kids go into their Schoology, their materials section is where all of that stuff is housed. It's really, really straightforward, and it's really a dynamic way for them to see what's going on. Over on the right-hand side of the Schoology platform is, I'm not going to take you through the whole my whole Schoology login because I closed it out. But look, if they look on the right-hand side, Schoology automatically populates the assignments that are due, and that's like a big, huge area where they can go to see what's due. It doesn't have to be, and it's set up not to be a wild Easter egg hunt to try to find the assignment. In all the classes, that should be the same. Anything that's due goes over on the right-hand side in the materials section, okay? Now, I mean, I know there are a ton of questions, and we've been on here. You know, my goal was to try to keep this to about 45 minutes for you guys. I know there's a lot of questions, and without a doubt, maybe we can talk about or find a couple of really good questions, and we can take one and what the answer was on there. I mean, the chats, you know, we have a couple people here that had asked. Perfect. Anybody else going through? Once a week will be Zoom fitness, Ms. Walker said. Other fitness requirements will be submitted. You know, so we're trying to get them to run once a week and do fitness once a week. And the fitness, this is a group thing. We thought it'd be better if they were able to have something that was structured and they didn't have to think so much. But, you know, for them and for you, because you can see these folders when you go in as a parent, you can see the resources and links. And if we're on our growth mindset unit, any links that we go over, they're going to be there. They might be helpful for you to read as well. I mean, you are raising what we hope to be, obviously, an independent, thoughtful, superhuman being. That's our goal, to get all of these kids to that status. So, you know, just the fact that you're on this meeting means that you're engaged and you are, you're with us. You know, we're on a team effort right now to make your kids better. We felt like we had a responsibility during this time, the most responsibility, the utmost responsibility to not just keep things status quo. You know, we want to teach them. We want to use this as a way to think outside the box to make them better than they were before in some way. So that's our goal. And, you know, thank you for listening. Thank you for coming on board. Hopefully this wasn't so fragmented and crazy. Any of the other teachers, do you have anything that you want to say maybe that you think might help?
I just want to reiterate that if you go to the materials section, almost all the questions I see up here are answered in the directions for the run log, which the app's called Map My Run, but all that information is in there, and all the information for the fitness log is in there. And so is an outline of what the kids are supposed to do, you know, each week. But basically the kids are meeting twice a week, but they have homework every day, and because we all want our kids to be active every day. So that's what we're trying to encourage.
Yeah, and we believe it's going to get easier each day. Everything's just new and overwhelming right now. But as we go through the course of the semester, it's going to get easier and easier. And we just got to get through these first few weeks. We're all here to support you guys. Mr. Foxon, thanks for leading this thing. And I think the parents are lucky that we're taking the time to make sure that it's a smooth adjustment for them, and that we're offering all the support. So it's going to be a good year. It's going to be a challenging year, but it'll be a good year.
Also, I did want to say one other thing, if anybody didn't want to cut anybody off. We have a phenomenal after-school program, and there are definitely some classes that could help your child. If you have the opportunity and the ability, we have a hiking class, we have fitness pods, and the people that are teaching the fitness pods will have our curriculum. Everything's coordinated. The fitness pods are really going to be an extension of PE. So like the running drills or the speed maker drills that we do in class normally, they're going to get to do out there. They're small learning pods, and you know, it's really a phenomenal way to guarantee your child's going to be outside and they're going to be doing some stuff. And also they can use it for their flex assignment. You know, if you sign up, you know, obviously, and they do something outdoors, anything they do outside, whether it's, you know, their soccer practice, their water polo practice, like we said, or the PE fitness log, they can use that, obviously. So yeah, there's just some great thing. And you can get there by going to, you know, the school's website, the school's main page, and then there's a link. It's called PEP, Revere PEP. PEP stands for Personal Enrichment Program. So yeah, it's awesome, and check it out. There's a ton of stuff offered, not only virtual classes, but a few outdoor classes as well. Yeah? How good do you guys feel right now? As parents, you're like, yes, physical education rules. Anyway, thank you.
I'm just seeing a lot of questions, and thank you. So we just want to thank you guys again. Again, a lot of that information, like how are they going to upload things and what are they going to do with, like when they do a run, that's all. If you go into their Schoology, I know I have it in my Flex, Fit, and Run folders, the instructions on how they're going to upload and, you know, exactly what they're going to do for those assignments. So just check there, and that will help out a lot.
That's awesome. I really, really thank you guys for you know, taking the time to join us. And as I said earlier, this is in lieu of you know, our our back to school night. We felt like we had so much to explain, and to have 10 minutes, you know, back to school night is September 3rd, if you don't know, and you should have gotten an email with that schedule. If you don't have it, I'm sure the school, without a doubt, you know, this week they're going to send it out beginning of next week. But it's 10 minutes basically as you go. You know, you have a little blurb of time for the 6th grade PE, but it's not really going to be long enough. So during that time, if you do log in and you want to check out PE, I mean, we will be available. Shoot us an email, we'll respond. But we will have a glorious video that's up that you can watch. And we look forward to a great, awesome year. And hopefully it won't be all year. Word on the street is that we'll be back second semester, maybe with a hybrid model. But we'll play that by ear, and we'll take that day by day. But thank you. Love you guys. Thank you for your support. And without you, we're nothing. We're nothing without you. We're nothing. I'm bad at goodbyes. So, okay, before I start crying, I'll see you. All right,
See you
guys. All right. Thank you.